Welcome everyone to the 11th episode of the BombCast. We're so excited. If you're just joining us, drop a comment, give us a thumbs up, let us know that you're on with us. And over the next half hour, we're gonna be talking with Danny here, who is a sales professional here at BombBomb. And Danny is one of the first person, not one of, the first person to have sent out 10,000 videos through BombBomb. So we're gonna dive into some strategies, some tips, some tricks, some real value that we're gonna bring to all of you to help you as you're looking to do a better job at selling through BombBomb. So it looks like I got a bunch of people on here. Hey, Leah in Cincinnati. Justin, you know, he's on as well. What's up, Justin and Brad? So thank you guys. We want to make sure this is as interactive as possible, so be jumping into that comment, asking Danny questions. But let's just, before we go any further, Danny, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started at BombBomb? How long have you been here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been in sales for a few years. I've done a number of different things, but most recently, before BombBomb, I was selling chemicals to the hospitality industry.
Sounds fun.
And I decided I wanted out of that.
I can't imagine why.
I found a tech company in Colorado Springs called BombBomb, and it was the company I wanted to work for. And I've been here for 3.5 years.
So 3.5 years, 10,000 videos.
Yep.
As you got started in the sales process. Now, one disclaimer I want to give everybody if you're joining, this is not going to be a pitch for BombBomb. So we're not going to talk about why you should be using BombBomb explicitly. What we want to be talking about is real value to the process that you've implemented in rehumanizing the sell.
Yeah.
How you've been leveraging video, not only to help, but we're going to pull the curtain back a little bit and show you guys some of the processes that we're doing internally with BombBomb because we use our own software. So much of what we bring from a training standpoint is from our own experiences. So tell us a little bit, Danny, as you got started, what was some of those things that was difficult for you as you began to kind of think about getting on video and selling?
Yeah, I think number one, probably the hardest thing at first is just getting over that barrier of feeling comfortable on video. 3.5 years ago, we were in a small loft about a mile away from here.
Yep.
There were about 30 of us in the office, and as I recorded my first few videos where everyone could hear everything, I felt super self-conscious about it.
Yes, I remember those days.
Yeah, and you probably remember those videos
yes.
as well, because I remember your videos.
Yeah, they're not the same.
No, but you get over it as you just continue to do it more and more, and you realize how helpful it is in the process. It's really easy to get over yourself and just
Just
keep doing it, yeah.
So as you kind of think back to kind of those early days and as you're first getting started, did you have an aha moment or do you remember kind of an interaction where sending a video to someone helped you get the sell and maybe in a process where maybe it wouldn't have in the past?
I don't know that I have any specific aha moments.
I mean, you've been selling for a while. I mean,
yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of the people that probably on are BombBomb customers because
Thank
of you.
Thank you for buying from me. I appreciate that. No, I think more of when you get those reactions to a video saying, oh, this is so cool, and just seeing how it impacts that relationship aspect of things. It's not a single aha moment, but getting into it and seeing the relationship that you can so much more quickly build with a video is really what keeps me using it for sales.
Right. That's so kind of let's talk a little bit about your process, right? So as you know, you've been sending out videos and in the sales process, and for anyone that's watching that's a sales professional, tell us a little bit about when do you send a video? What does that process look like, and how often are you sending videos to your clients?
Yeah, so I think there's two ways to look at that. You can start by making a phone call, and then whether you get a voicemail or you, at the end of that conversation, say, hey, I want to put a face to the name. I'm going to send you a video email after this. If you find it easier, reply back with the email or whatever. Or you can start by sending the video email itself, and once you see they're engaged with that video, then give them a call. And typically that's the way I'm gonna go. I wanna put a face to the name. Once I've built some of that rapport, then I'm going to give them a call, especially because now I know when they watched that too. I know when that rapport was built.
Right. So if you're just joining us, welcome to the BombCast. We're talking with Danny Doerksen, sales professional here at BombBomb, who's the first person in BombBomb history to have sent out over 10,000 videos in his account, and we're diving into the tactics and strategies that he's applying. So drop a comment in and let us know, are you a sales professional, and are you using video right now in your process, just so we can kind of get a sense. We're watching the comments as we go live here, and you're just talking about that idea of recording a video before you make the phone call. Talk about how does that help you build rapport, and does it help you get past sometimes those gatekeepers? Because any sales professional knows there's gatekeepers and you're always trying to talk to the decision maker. How has that helped you in the process?
And that's a great point. That's the greatest part about sending that video first, because oftentimes I'm working in enterprise sales, so I'm reaching out to executive level leadership at an organization, and often if the first interaction is making a phone call, I'm going to be stopped at that gatekeeper, the assistant or whoever that may be, and they may not even pass that message along because nobody knows who BombBomb is. People know who BombBomb is, but maybe that person doesn't yet, right? So I think by sending that video email first, and especially having my phone number below that video, and say, hey, I'm going to give you a call at the phone number you see below this video. After I see they've watched that in that critical time period that I'm still fresh on their mind, if I can give them a call, and that assistant does pass along that, hey, Danny from BombBomb is on the phone, I have a much higher opportunity of actually connecting with that CEO or whoever it is.
So that's incredible, right? I mean, leveraging tracking so that when you know that that decision maker has watched your video, and then you're doing your phone call kind of as a follow-up to that. So Teresa just asked a good question, you know, on cold leads, do you send the first video through email or your cell phone? And you know, wondering kind of what that process looks like. Talk a little bit about where are you recording your videos? How are you doing that?
Yeah, great question. So I'll do it out of email first. I kind of feel like text message is a little bit more of an intimate communication. So I want to send it out of an email, be as professional as possible in that first interaction. Oftentimes I'm going to use a branded design around that so that they see very professional, but then a personal video inside of that. And then once I see that engagement occurs, now I'm going to keep reaching out in the venue that I know works, being email, until we can continue to build that relationship and I can reach out to them with a phone call or text message or whatever.
You know? So it's that process of differentiating yourself, getting in front of them seeing your face, and then that likelihood increases. So talk a little bit about kind of your measurement, right? So I know a lot of people watching are kind of sometimes get hung up on analytics. And we all do it. We're doing these activities. We're sending videos. You want to make sure people are engaging with it. How do you know whether or not this is effective for you? And how do you measure that kind of as you're sending out all these videos?
I think the really cool thing about a video email is that it shows true engagement. So if I send just a text-based email, I could have tracking, as most salespeople these days have some sort of tracking. And so I can see so-and-so just opened your email. So I just have to assume, well, they read my email. Not necessarily. I was just on vacation and I came back with 300 emails. I marked a bunch as open, and so those people may think, Danny read my email. No, I didn't. I just marked it as open, right? But having that video in there shows that they opened it and they actually pushed play. And that shows me this is someone who truly is engaged. This is someone that I'm going to spend some time following up with.
So when you think about, and I've had these conversations with our customers before, you know, sometimes it's discouraging when you go through the effort, record a video, send it out, you see they opened it and they didn't play your video. How do you stop there?
No.
Or what do you do? What's your process?
I mean, that's what sales is all about, right? You can't give up. And video, it just allows you to diversify your outbounding, right? So keep reaching out by a phone call, do a text-based email occasionally, or a video as well, but that gives you more venues to be able to reach out to them, and just don't give up. What's that you have to reach out to someone at least maybe, I think the number is 6 times before you'll really have a meaningful engagement back. So I think too often I'm guilty of this myself, but too often salespeople in general just give up too quickly. Video allows you to do that very quickly and continue to reach out with very personal messaging.
So you keep sending them a video over and over and over, even though they may not be watching it.
Yeah.
What's your kind of your process there to make sure that you're saving time? I know that's kind of a key piece of video. We talk a lot about how video helps you save time. So when you kind of think about that process, how are you leveraging time effectively with kind of sending these videos out?
I mean, selfishly, I use video because it does save me time. I'm not typing out that same message. So I can get 20, 30 videos out in a day where if I had to type that same message, it would be a lot smaller. I'm a decent typer, but not super quick. So yeah, I think selfishly I'm using it because it's quicker, but then on the other end of that interaction, it's building rapport, so I see it as a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us, welcome to the BombCast. We got Danny Doerksen here, sales professional here at BombBomb, the first person in BombBomb history with our thousands of customers to have more than 10,000 videos sent out, largely, probably most of them all one-to-one.
Yeah,
so not mass sending, largely one-to-one communication. So we're diving into strategies and tactics to help anyone that's looking to build relationships and rehumanize that digital communication to the process. So if you've got questions, drop them into the comments. It's one of the benefits of joining us live, that you can interact and ask Danny your burning questions because he is a wealth of knowledge. Teresa just popped in a good question about, do you use captioning in your videos? In kind of your process?
You know, I use the technology that's available to me. I don't want to add anything in that's going to slow me down. So I don't have captioning.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have any excuse to not have to push play on my video. The less I give them around that video, the more reason they have to push play on it. And I think we'll talk about it eventually too, that I'll often write someone's name so that, man, that handwritten name will really make them want to push play on that video as well.
Yeah. And it's a good point, Teresa, and I think it's an important thing to bring up kind of in the types of videos that we're talking about here. We're really speaking to that one-to-one communication where you're trying to get in front of that decision maker, you're building rapport. You know, when you think about videos that are going to be on Facebook or other video mediums that are out there, captioning is a great tool. But for some of the things that we're kind of speaking to, you probably want someone listening to your video, engaging with your video, because that really allows you...
That's what builds the relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, as we were kind of prepping, some of the processes where you're leveraging video to build that relationship and help you ultimately get to the sell. And a question that we have, and if you guys have been watching Danny or watching our Facebook, you've seen some of the videos, the highlights that we've put on, and not all of your videos are totally professional, which we love, but talk about that. When do you kind of button it up and do more professional video? And then when do you kind of go more to the fun side and kind of connect in a deeper way?
Yeah, man, I think you just have to know your audience, number one, right? Know who you can send a fun video to, but also I love reaching that point where I can send a goofy video to someone, because laughing with someone helps take that relationship from level 1 to level 3. You get there a lot more quickly if you can just joke around with someone and laugh. And once I'm back and forth laughing with someone or joking with someone in video, man, as a salesperson, that's exactly where you want to be.
Right. You want to build that, you want to get that interaction, that reply that's like, you know, oh my gosh, that's the funniest video I've ever seen, or ever. So on average, how long are your videos?
I do my absolute best to keep it under 45 seconds-ish.
Okay, so 45 seconds. So these aren't long-winded. You're not pitching the product. You're not talking about all the benefits. You're using these as a way to begin the conversation or continue the rapport, build rapport with the people that you're looking to interact with.
Yeah, and again, knowing your audience too, because sometimes as we speak with realtors or lenders or whoever, that at the beginning stages, a 45-second video is great, but in the midst of the closing process or whatever, you've got a more captive audience that maybe a 3-minute video can warrant and stay engaged with.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, Sean just asked a great question. If you're going to use captioning, what would you recommend? You know, Sean, one thing that we've used is, if you're an iOS user, Clips, Apple's kind of native editing software. They've got captioning that makes it really easy, and then you can export it right to BombBomb. So if that's a tactic you do want to take, I'd recommend using clips. You use anything else? Or?
I honestly haven't used any myself.
So keep it simple, keep it really kind of to the point, but clips is a great resource. Mike's asking, do you include a full signature or just the video? So when you're sending videos out, I think maybe another way Mike might ask this is saying, and Mike, if I word this wrong, please tell us, but you're looking for that reply, and so how do you make sure you have the right information in the email so that they don't just watch it and not do something with it? What does that look like for you? You
know, that video again helps you to just diversify the way that you're reaching out to people. So any message that I'm going to send someone, I want to give them diversification of how they can reply back to me as well.
Right.
So if I'm going to leave a voicemail, hey, I'm going to send you an email as well, and if you want to reply to that email, great, but you've got my phone number as well. If I'm going to send an email, it's going to have my personal phone number in there as well.
Right.
Whatever way works best for you to get back to me, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's great. So if you're just joining us, welcome to the BombCast. We're interviewing Danny Doerksen, the first person to have 10,000 videos in their BombBomb account across the board. We're talking through some tactics and strategies, so if you've got questions, drop them into the comment. And here in a couple of minutes, we're gonna do a live follow-up.
Yeah.
We prepped Danny. We said, hey, would you do a live recording so to show our audience what it's like for you to actually follow up with someone. So we've never done this before, so we're gonna try this out. And here on the laptop, I'm gonna pull over into our BombBomb account. Danny's gonna type in an email address and show you what it's actually like for him to do a live recording. So Danny, it's all yours.
Oh,
take us through the process.
Thank you.
Take a sip of water, prep, whatever you need to do. You know, what's the process, the magic? Good, yeah.
I'm gonna step away for 10 minutes. I'll come back. So I think the biggest thing is don't overthink it. You send a ton of voicemails, or you leave a lot of voicemails, and you don't overthink those. You record those voicemails and you click hang up. That's exactly what you want to do here as well. Just don't overthink it. Get comfortable on it, and
do it.
Man, I've got chicken scratch here, but I'm telling you, this whiteboard right here, I tell people a lot, a $5 investment has helped make me a lot of money as a salesperson, because that handwritten name shows I've taken time out of my day to do this just for you. Who's not going to push play on something like this, right?
Right.
So I'm going to send this to Matt.
And this is real person, ladies and gentlemen. This is not just someone here internally.
All right. So here we go. I'm sending this to Matt, and
I'm gonna get out.
Yeah,
get out
thanks,
the camera.
Jason.
Sorry, I will not help in your sales process.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Matt, it's Danny with BombBomb here. Just wanted to send you a personal video email and introduce myself. Here at BombBomb, we are changing the industry by helping people get face-to-face and build rapport as quickly as possible. I'd love to connect with you, spend 20 minutes on an executive briefing if we can, so please reply to this email, let me know when you have some time available, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
Boom, 22 seconds, well done.
Nice.
We got live audience as well here. Crush it. So 22 seconds. Now, a couple things. I want to break this down.
Yeah.
Because I know it's short, but there's some key things that you did. First of all, you notice how long he held up the sign. The reason that that's important is because with BombBomb, we generate an animated preview that goes out. That'll go for 3 seconds. So you don't want to just go fast and stop.
Right.
You held it up for a couple seconds. That way people are going to be able to kind of see that name and that interaction.
Yep.
The next thing you did is you talked about the USP, our unique selling proposition.
Yep.
So you said, this is what we do, this is what we're about. And then you left them with a very clear call to action that said, I want to go through an executive briefing. Let me know when you have time.
Absolutely.
Is that intentional, or is that just freaking rote?
No, I think any salesperson ends up with about 5 or 10 scripts that they don't even know are scripts, but they find themselves saying it over and over enough that that's just what you say.
Right.
Yes, it is intentional. I've thought through a lot of that, but now it's just muscle memory doing so many of them.
Right. Yeah. And then you take one take, literally, you guys saw it. That took him no longer than 30 seconds to type in the email address, send that out. And with that type of process, that's kind of how you get to 10,000 videos.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I would say about that too is, man, I mess up my videos all the time, and I love that I do that. The
Do you still send it?
Absolutely. The ums in there, or the coughs, or the sneezes, or whatever, just humanize you. But it also shows, man, this wasn't done in a studio. He really did this 5 seconds ago and pushed send on it for me.
Yeah. And that's where those, again, you know, those notifications we were talking about, you know, whatever tools you're using, you got to leverage those notifications. It's not just noise. When someone opens and plays that video and you see that it happens, that's when you take that next step, and you're going to ultimately get to the place where you're getting the deals done.
Absolutely.
And that's how this activity becomes an ROI positive activity, even though it may not be the video itself that makes the sell. It's getting you in front of people and building that interaction. So seeing a ton of thumbs up coming through. You got a lot of positive feedback. You crushed the video. Teresa was asking, she hadn't seen such a tiny whiteboard. Where did you get it from?
Look up small whiteboard on Amazon.
Yeah,
that's it.
I literally think you can get like a 4-pack for like $5. Like it's really a very minimum investment on that side of things. Eric just ordered a tiny whiteboard. Awesome,
Way to go, Eric. Yeah.
Previous BombCast interviewee. Good to see you on the show, Eric. So that's the process. That's pretty dialed in. That looks awesome. So tell me a little bit about, though, so you're talking about how you have a couple scripts. And we've talked about kind of your first script, right, where you're sending before you make the phone call. That was kind of a similar script. Talk to us a little bit about a script that you might use, or how you would leverage video when someone just hasn't been paying attention to you.
And that's when you can have fun with those first 3 seconds.
Okay.
Or with the subject line, or whatever's in there. You know, just whatever you can do to be engaging, and that with those first 3 seconds that you have of movement, you can do lots of things, and people just enjoy having fun. So you know, come out of somewhere else from the camera angle, or just, you know, something that's gonna catch their attention and again make them want to push play. The whiteboard, the whole intention is making them want to push play on that. You've got 3 seconds to capture their interest once they've opened that email.
Yeah, I've seen other tactics, you know, with previous guests and customers that we've interviewed that have taken this tactic. I mean, literally, we should be investing in whiteboard, because like a lot of people have applied this. It's awesome to see, but I've seen other customers do things like "you're awesome."
Yeah.
Or numbers, write a big number on there, and that's going to draw someone in to watch the video.
Absolutely.
On something on those sides, or write something that's negative as well, as I've seen a way to kind of get someone to draw in and press play, because they're like, wait, what's this? What's going on? Kind of on that side of things. Shannon just dropped a comment in. Thanks for joining. Danny is my sales guy.
Thank you, Shannon.
But this is the cool part. I've never met him, but because of BombBomb, it feels like he's my bestie.
Oh, Shannon, you are awesome. I like you. And Karen Share is awesome too. I just want to say that. Shannon works for Karen Share. Great organization.
That's awesome. So, okay, Jim just asked another, tell our guy to never redo the video unless their brain takes over the total left turn and forgets the customer name. Yeah, that, I've done that before.
Yeah.
In fact, I got an email the other day. I accidentally called the customer Erica, and it was Richard.
But the cool thing is, I would say, the cool thing is, Richard replied.
He did reply. I got the reply.
I wouldn't recommend that as a tactic, but see, it's those imperfections again that humanize you, right?
It's so true. Yeah. And like, I think it's one of those things that so often we're in our own heads as sales professionals, right? We kind of psych ourselves up. You're always working hard, making that next call. But it's about getting that reply, and that's really kind of the tactic that's important there. So again, if you're just joining us, saw a couple more people pop on. Welcome. We're coming to the end, the top of the half hour here for the BombCast episode 11. Please keep dropping your questions in before we sign off. We'll keep answering them as you guys have questions for Danny, kind of in your sales process, how you're leveraging video. Tell me this. So, you know, there's a lot of customers. You do a lot kind of in the sell process. How has video helped you stay in touch and get referrals or get more business from previous sales? Like, how are you applying that tactic to your business?
Yeah, that video has helped me establish a relationship that I couldn't have established with just phone calls or just text-based communication. So I've built hopefully a friendship with that person. And if I don't continue to follow up with them saying, hey, how's it all going for you? I'm missing out on a huge potential of continued business as well. So I do need to be reaching out to them and just saying, hey, how's everything going? Do you know of anyone else who could use our software or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, just coming back through. I think we've gotten through most of the questions that are in there, which, okay, looking good on that side of things. So thank you guys. Okay, final question. What do you think, if you were going to give everyone one tip to their selling process through video, what is the biggest takeaway and tip that you would share with the audience?
I think don't overthink it. The number one barrier to success is that people just don't use it. Because of one reason or another, they just overthink it. They don't feel confident. I send probably 20 video emails a day when I'm in the office. And occasionally, even today, I saw some videos that I had sent and I thought, man, I look like such a crazy person today or whatever. My hair is wrong or whatever. But if I continue to scrutinize that, I tell people all the time that it's easy to take 2 hours to record a 20-second video.
Yeah, it is.
You can just re-record it and re-record it. But if you don't scrutinize it, you know that those imperfections add to the humanity of that communication. Don't overthink it. Record it, send it, done.
Move on. Absolutely. And then leverage the tracking tools that you might be applying to your business so that you're following up appropriately. Michelle just has a great question that popped in. Do you have any advice for realtors on how they might use video to reach out to expired listings?
Man. Geez.
So
what do you think on this, Jason?
So thanks for asking.
Yeah. I'd like to interview you now, Jason.
So Michelle, something I think is fascinating about expired listings is typically that person has been through a very negative experience, right? If they listed with another agent, for whatever reason, the property didn't sell. And they're probably feeling a little bit jaded by that experience. Video is your opportunity to empathize with them and provide value before you ask for anything. So that would be my biggest recommendation, is when you connect with that person, empathize with them and say, hey, I understand. I am sorry that your property didn't sell. There's a lot of factors. You don't want to throw the other agent under the bus, but you just want to connect with them. And then you want to provide value of saying, maybe it's another competitive market analysis, maybe it's your own analyzation. You're not trying to get the deal in the first video, you're just trying to make the connection. Once you've built that connection, then you can move in and move towards that ask of maybe being their realtor to help them get it sold, or maybe you know, expired listings is your expertise, and so that's something that you can leverage as well. So that's how I would approach it. Do not lead with the ask is the number one thing on expireds. They're already jaded and they're going to not pay attention to you. If you say, hey, that person sucked, I can do it better, they're not going to listen to you. You haven't gained that, or you haven't earned that right to be heard, and providing real value to them in the beginning. So,
and I would also say, especially in this market right now, the moment a listing is expired, you are not going to be the only realtor reaching out to them, right? Nope. You're probably, that person is going to have a whole lot of emails in their inbox and a whole lot of voicemails. There's an NAR stat that says over half of people go with the first realtor they meet face to face. In that situation, as multiple realtors are reaching out in different ways, if you can be the first one to get face to face with them and build that first rapport, you are already steps ahead of your competition.
Right. Yeah. Great question, Michelle. Keep them coming if you guys have other questions, strategies. We have the expert on one-to-one video, 10,000 of them sent out through their BombBomb account. Teresa dropped a nice comment, you know, regarding your hair. You have hair, son, so you should be happy.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that.
It is. I mean,
Is it on point today?
It's pretty on point.
My wife wants me to grow it out. I don't know what to think of it. We'll talk about that later.
So awesome. Well, thank you guys. All right, I think we're set. Thank you all. Couple key just notes on the BombCast, some things that are coming up on February. I believe it's the 15th. We're going to be doing it on a Wednesday. Typically, we host the BombCast on Thursdays, but we're headed to family reunion, so for travel purposes, we're bumping it a day back. We have another sales professional that'll be joining us who is incredible when it comes to training people on video, so you're not going to want to miss out. In this comment thread, go to the 3 buttons across the top where you can turn on notifications so that you'll know when we go live. You can join us. And just recently, our master engineer behind the camera, Matt, figured out how to take our BombCast and turn it into a podcast. So that way, if you can't join us live and you want to listen to us while you're working out or on the drive, you can do that. So head over to iTunes, search for the BombCast, subscribe, and you can listen to all the great value that we're bringing. Go back and analyze things. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of the BombCast today. And we'll see you guys on the next BombCast on February 15th.
Thank you. All right. We still live?